so I haven't podcasted in the longest I've gone without podcasting since we did that Swamp Thing episode on fried squirms in like 2017, 2018. So today, getting ready for this, my brain was like, oh my God, do I even remember how to podcast? But instead of like reviewing the material, doing something useful, I got super stuck on what we're going to call this crossover episode. Because, like, when we crossed over with Fried Squirms, it was super easy. It was like General Squirtery or, like, you know, Fried Nerds. It's bad names, but they're, like, fun. General Island. Newb Nerdery. The first one sounds like a soap opera from hell. The second one, wildly inaccurately. But, anyways, welcome to our crossover episode. Welcome to General Nerdery, your podcast about liking things.
Aloha, bienvenidos, and welcome to Newb Island, a place for nerdy fun, friendships, and learning. I'm Professor T.
I'm Professor Z.
Much like the starting zone of many video games, the goal of our island resort is to teach visiting noobs about geeky subjects, but away from the stress of having to worry about sweaty tryhards, griefers, know-it-alls, or neckbeards. We'd like to think of it as learning in luxury.
I knew that transfer was going to be weird, but, like, I just had to do it. So, this is, as you've now noticed, our crossover episode, and we're doing this for a whole month between our two podcasts, General Nerdery and Newb Island, because we needed to get through a bunch of Marvel vampire movies, so it was just easier to bash them all into a month.
It's stuff, I mean, we would have eventually done this anyway on General Nerdery if Newb Island didn't exist.
Right. So, but that brings us to our third co-host, I guess our guest for General Nerdery and our co-host on Newb Island.
And our noob.
The least appropriately referred to as noob person, possibly, ever. Mac, say hello.
Hello.
So,
well, thanks for inviting me to General Nerdery.
So, if you don't listen to Newb Island, Mac is our noob. He is the person that we have been teaching about magic in the Marvel Universe for 2 years now?
A little over 2 years, maybe?
And we keep calling you the noob, and, like, you and I have had in-depth conversations about Damon Hellstrom's Son of Satan.
It's the good stuff.
Or, like, small weird things you've noticed in the Strange series. Oh my God, we have... I know it's the motif of the show. We have to keep calling him that, but... you know more than my fellow comic experts.
That's okay.
He's the noob until we get through our 15-year course of study.
Yeah.
We are over halfway on the Marvel stuff.
But are we, though?
The gods section is going to take a long old time.
Thor by himself
is like 4 episodes. Yeah, no, we've... Loki might be 2.
We have so much still coming up. Like, I'm not complaining.
When we first started planning Newb Island, and it was just going to be... When we first started talking about it, it was going to be every 4 episodes of General Nerdery. So, like, the end of every month, we were going to do a Newb Island episode. And we're going to do it for a year. Mm-hmm. We didn't even get through the sorcerers. And some of those I kind of want to redo now, looking back at them.
Now look at us.
But, Mac, for those of us who don't listen to Newb Island, I don't say us, I listen to Newb Island. I'm on it. What are your nerd credentials?
Nerd credentials. All right, so buckle up.
Sit down. There's a list.
First and foremost, I am now a comic nerd. Yay.
Yay.
And then,
backpats to Tyler and myself.
Thank you. Other than that, if it's nerdy, I've probably been involved in it at some point in my life. So I have been playing video games since I've been like 5. Started off with like...
Yeah, but that was like 2013.
No. That was 2000.
Excuse me as I go crawl into my coffin.
Yeah.
My vintage is 95. Anyways, yes, I started with Nintendo, all that stuff, all the way up to today. I still play video games avidly. I'm a 40k nerd. I love Warhammer. My army is Thousand Suns. I'm in a foam combat group with...
It's Bellegarth. They know what Bellegarth is.
Yeah, I'm in Bellegarth.
He's a fellow realm leader with me in Wacky Bats as of a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, newly appointed.
We have time to break him now.
Yeah.
I also hate myself and play League, as most people do. I am an avid horror fan, both in books and movies, and I on occasion play music.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh, yes.
You play a lot of Magic
I have
the
a
Gathering.
cardboard addiction. I don't like to talk about it because it's disheartening how much money I spend on cards. But yes, I also play that.
You play Foam Combat, Magic the Gathering, and Warhammer 40k.
I'm a very poor boy. This is why I can't buy a house.
Yeah, it's totally not the housing crisis. It's the cardboard.
Yeah. Those are my nerd credentials.
Good.
Yeah, bud. Wow, haven't done this for a month and a half.
Well, and we're combining formats.
So we are going to run this roughly as a General Nerdery
Yes.
episode. When we get to talking about Blade, we will be doing a lot more comparing and contrasting to the comic book than we normally would on General Nerdery. Also, we're trying to make it so Tyler doesn't have to bleep every other sentence.
Right, because it's being posted on both feeds, and Newb Island is our family-friendly-ish
Sometimes.
podcast.
With the exception of he'll listen and be like, whoops, missed that one.
Right,
some of
which
the topics.
I'm sure we're labeled as explicit because of that. And, but one day I swear I'm going to go back and fix them.
But, okay, so obviously not everything, because again, it's been a month and a half, but what have we been ingesting?
Yeah, not everything. So here's the thing.
My
not
comic book
everything,
collection alone would be like an hour and a half.
Not everything, but also it's a little bit easier for me.
Midnight Suns. It's been Midnight Suns.
No, well, because part of the reason we haven't recorded in so long is because I got a concussion
Yeah.
and was off of screens for a while. And so I just sat there and listened to audiobooks that I had already listened to so that I could just zone out and go to
Didn't
sleep.
have to think. I'm totally with you. A little background as we keep to explain to everyone why it's been so long for us. Between the 3 podcasts that you and I do, takes 4 people to do them all.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of us, except for Mac, has had stuff going down. Out of town, concussion. You were also out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. And Mac's like, so is it this week we're recording?
I feel like it's a rare exception where I have nothing happening. I'm just like, I am free.
Please, for the love of God.
Well, there was potentially going to be a General Nerdery episode between.
Yeah. And then
We
you
had a
whacked
guest
yourself in the
lined
head.
up.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
God, I mean, we'll still get there. But
And then I fell on the ice. Don't fall on the ice, people. You can really screw yourself
I'm
up.
happy you're okay. That's scary.
But that makes my ingesting a lot easier than it would have been for this length of time, because there was a good bit where I was just lying there, really, really bored.
any good audiobooks though?
I re-listened to the latest 4 Dresdens like
okay.
2 times each, and then through like
Oof, that is good.
and then like half of the first part of the Audible Sandman.
Gotcha.
And then there was one day where instead of audiobooks, I just like wrapped a headband around my eyes and put on Reservation Dogs and re-listened to this season. So that was fun. No, so the big ones were I don't know if I ever mentioned I was going through these. I mentioned it as a recommendation during one of the Dresden episodes.
God, back when we were still doing recommendations.
Oh, yeah. I remember
But I finally finished the Iron Druid series. Mm-hmm. It's fine. It's more that, like, I need to mention it because it's been taking up so much of this past year, because I was just doing it, like, each time I would get an Audible credit, I would just get the next one. Mm-hmm. So it's been spread out over the past 9 months that I've been slowly getting through it. And the series starts a lot better than it ends.
It's always the risk when it's like an 18-book series.
And it was only 9. Yeah.
Yeah, just 9.
You know what I mean.
I don't know. Book 8 was better than Book 9, which was kind of a bummer.
Oh yeah, you wanna finish on a high note.
Like, it was a better high note. And I don't even dislike some of the choices made at the end, but some of them just seemed weird and like it had been building somewhere else, and then
Weird. Surprise.
And I don't know. The best character, the character that the entire series should have been about, wasn't introduced till the end of book 6. And then once he shows up, you're like, well, I kind of don't care about anyone else now. Owen is the best. Anyway.
It's too bad this is an audio format because both Mac and I's eyes went really wide simultaneously the moment you said book 6 introduced the interesting character.
So it's not that Atticus is bad. Like, I was locked in. I was kept at the books. Really enjoyed them. Like I said, though, it just ends. Meh. And, like, then it's also supposed to be an ending, but there's like 15 different trails like left open where you're like, cool, so it's obvious you're going to continue these stories at some point.
Little side ones.
Don't know how. It might be a whole new series, might be little short stories, but like, you left this open, you left this person going and doing this, like...
Either that or just super sloppy writing.
Yeah. And just the last like 3 books of the series, I kind of didn't like how important... Like many fantasy authors these days, like they'll go do the different short story compilations and throw different things in like related to their universe. But this author made them really important.
But God forbid you miss that 10-page story.
Like whatever, like Butcher does it with the Dresden stuff, and he's good enough at it that you don't necessarily have to go read those short stories.
Yeah, I remember one character in the I don't even remember who it was. I was like, wait, what? What's happening here? But
even then, it's explained as much as
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to figure it out, and it's usually just like, oh, he knows this person. In this case, it was like between one book and the next, suddenly going into the next one and being, oh, so they have a whole new dog and a live-in dog sitter who's English and a new best friend that like provides all sorts of amazing prophecies for them.
Weird. So it's going to be like the Star Wars people who didn't catch Book of Boba Fett and go into Mando season 3.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They're going to have a bad time.
I don't know, whatever. I still enjoyed it, and I would still recommend at least the first couple books.
Gotcha.
I would maybe just stop at Staked, though, and like, I'm sure it ends somehow. That's fine.
I always feel kind of for like anything, because we go through so much media, especially for this podcast. The stuff that we're like, it's fine, because everything else we're like showering with praise, and it's like, I promise it's still good.
Yeah, if it was completely not good, I wouldn't bring it up.
Or we would be yelling about it in a completely different direction.
Definitely still good. I just, by the end, meh. So much Midnight Suns. So much.
A
It's
lot
so
of Midnight
good.
Suns.
It's so good. I know Mac's been playing too.
It's been a blast.
Also, Marvel, like, tried out Marvel Snap. Also amazing. Turns out all the hype is there. Like, all the hype's worth it. It's just a really well-constructed card game. Super easy to get in and out of matches.
And if you're there to play with your friends, give them some time. They're adding an update to be able to do that. Otherwise, everything is great.
Like, in a week,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So that's going to be great. It is great.
And then the other thing is I went through both seasons of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency and am super sad that they canceled it, even though I went into it knowing it was canceled.
Oh.
Because it's been over with for like 3 or 4 years now. So
that's the Douglas Adams.
Yeah, that's the Douglas Adams. Based off of the 2 novels from Douglas Adams. And I can't remember. So there's the Salmon of Doubt that's Hitchhikers, and then there's also a Salmon of Doubt that's Dirk Gently's.
Douglas Adams.
That were both posthumous.
I love him. Don't get me wrong. He hated his fan base. More than any author I have possibly ever seen, with the maybe exception of Arthur Conan Doyle. He hated his fan base.
I don't know how that show isn't still going. It's so good. It's American Doctor Who, except more supernatural than, like, cosmic.
With Elijah Wood.
With Elijah Wood. And just a bunch of... If you've ever seen or read, like, John Dies at the End, it feels like Doctor Who mixed with John Dies at the End.
Why does that sound familiar? Is that a movie now, too?
That's a movie. It's a horror comedy where these guys take a drug called soy sauce.
Oh, and the main actor is, I think I've seen them in something else. I forget their name. The movie was decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys did an episode on that.
We did, yeah.
Fairly recently.
Fairly recently. It's really fun. I highly recommend that movie. It's
over on
over on Fried Squirms. Not much of a horror, more of a comedy, but it is
Like a dark
definitely like
comedy.
it's cosmic horror. It's like they take this drug and you can suddenly see across like dimensions, but in like a Lovecraftian kind of way, so it's not that good, except it's turned into a comedy, because whereas like a Lovecraftian protagonist would be driven mad by seeing those things, these guys are just complete, just like lazy screw ups and just like don't care enough for it to actually affect them that much.
I mean, as we've covered over the years, I am not a big horror movie fan, but I've always really wanted to watch John Dies at the End. So, like, that's how.
Plus that name.
Horror. Yeah, it really is solid.
And Paul Giamatti's in it, and he's great.
Yes, I kept wanting to say Malkovich, and I knew that wasn't right. Giamatti.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's
God,
what
they should have given him more time as the Rhino. That was
they
for
should
such a bad movie. That was a gifted casting choice.
It really was.
Mac Attack. What about yourself?
Stuff that I've watched recently.
Watched, read, listened to.
We talked about this before the podcast started. I picked up Diablo 2 Resurrected, because why not?
Because it's a great freaking game.
I know, and I had some money for Christmas, so like, I haven't played Diablo 2 in a while. Let's play the new one on the PS5. Midnight Suns, Escape from Tarkov.
What's Escape from Tarkov?
It's a very janky Russian realistic shooter where you fight other people and try to get out alive, or you lose everything you looted.
Russian real estate?
Realistic.
Realistic.
It's
that
made
makes
by
significantly
a Russian
more
group.
sense.
It's like Arma 3 on
Yeah, okay.
crack cocaine.
I'm following that. Jesus.
What else? I've been going through audiobooks of Brandon Sanderson. Between doing things, I'm listening through his Mistborn series. Teaching some friends 40K. Work. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Cool. Nice and basic. Let's see. I mean, God, so much. Side note, Dark Knights of Steel is an absolutely incredible book. I hate to use the term DC Universe Game of Throneified, but it kind of is, because it's warring houses and people die that you don't expect to die and all of that. But it's a medieval world of DC, and it's the House of L, led by Jor-El and Laura, with their two children, Clark or Kal-El, and their adopted son Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
With Harley as the court jester, and like the Robins are all of Bruce Wayne's like intelligence gathering service, and then on the other side is Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, and like his multiple children, and Luther was, I don't remember if he was a former king or he was something that got like banished, and you're like, when's he coming back? Green Arrow's doing Robin Hood stuff. Like it's. I have said very nice things about Tom Taylor over the years, and will continue to say a very nice thing about Tom Taylor. He's in my top 2 working comic book writers right now, and he absolutely, like, it's so clear this book that he's doing is a labor of love, because I'm sure it's not selling amazingly. Like, he also did Superman, Son of Kal-El, which I read finally recently, which is Superman's son, Superman. Because they just have given up on legacy characters having different names anymore. But his son and Clark is off planet gone, and he's suddenly like, wow, okay, guess I'm on my own. How am I gonna do this? Also, apparently I'm bi. Found that out about myself. Or gay, I don't know which one, but into dudes. Like that guy. Like really into that guy. But it's fun, because it's, he's a zoomer. He has stuff like, hey, the polar ice caps are melting, man. Like, I hang out there. Like, Fortress of Solitude.
We should do something about that.
But I went to California recently for a Belagarth event for foam fighting, and then got rained out because we got, if the reports are to be believed, hurricane level rains without the hurricane level winds.
Gotcha.
And I was in a tent. So that did not work out. But we went to a comic book store there because the hell with it. We were staying in a cheap hotel. I'm not swinging stick at my friends. I might as well go do this. And the people with me found it very on brand that as soon as we left, I was like, I really liked that comic store. There was a good selection, but man, their organization was criminal. The main back wall was all in alphabetical order, but no separation by company.
Okay.
Which makes finding
That's
things
wild.
kind of a pain in the butt.
Actually, really difficult.
And then they have spinner racks Actually, it was like all of the gold was in the spinner racks, but there was no organization to the spinner racks. It was just like mostly like, well, these have never sold, so that's where the stuff picked up. But like, I felt kind of bad. I found this book of, it was Golden Age Jungle Girl reprints, like a hardcover book of that. Now, Jungle Girl comics is, Tarzan with if we're being honest, but like, I love them, but they're a crapshoot of if they're going to be good or bad. And there wasn't a price tag on this, so I'm like talking to the guy, and he's like, "Oh man, I don't know. That's been up there for a really long time. Like, I guess I'll call the boss." And I'm, 100% eavesdropping as they're doing. And he's like, "Well, I looked it up online, boss, and it says it's between like $35 to $50, and I don't know which one to charge." And I'm going like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna get a $35 hardcover." It's been up there for like a year. And he goes off and he's like, "I'll sell it to you for $50. I'm like, "I could hear you, man. Like, I know that's the expensive option. I was willing to pay $35 for crapshoot of comics that might end up being blindingly racist if I'm not lucky. But like, 50's a bridge too far." But I did find the complete collection of, you might have heard of this. There's no way that you, Mac, would have heard of this. It was a short line of comics called DC Tangent.
Ooh, no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
This was a long shot, but so you know how at the end of the Golden Age and into the Silver Age of comics, they took a lot of the characters and remade them in new characters with like new backstory. So instead of, Alan Scott, who had a magic ring and lantern that was weak to wood, we got Space Cop Hal Jordan with a weakness to yellow and personality.
Oh, nice.
So they Dan Jurgens, I think Jurgens, who was a huge he's still active today, but his heyday was like the 90s. He wrote Death of Superman. So in 1997, he was one of DC's biggest people, was looking back at that like transfer from the Golden to the Silver Age, and he went, "What if we did that again today?" And so they got all of the big name comic creators of DC Comics. Carl Kessel, Chuck Dixon, which is weird to say because that dude went full alt-right a couple years back. As I said, Dan Jurgens. John Byrne might have been involved. I don't remember. But like, the like wheelhouse. And he's like, "Okay, so we're going to set up these creative teams. You're going to get a character's name, and you have to create a completely new character from that, but that's all you get."
Okay.
So, like, Batman is a magical suit of armor because he's the Dark Knight.
Ugh.
It's actually pretty cool. I know, I get it. The Flash is literally a being made of pure light that has, like, light-based powers.
Okay.
Green Lantern is actually the coolest one. It's James Robinson and J.H. Williams III, the guy who did Sandman Overture.
Okay.
This is before he became, like, a huge legend character. And half the books we read when we did some DC Magic stuff were written by James Robinson. Like, he wrote Scarlet Witch.
Oh, gotcha. Really good then.
Reinvented Green Lantern as a woman who is cursed to go from gravesite to gravesite, and if there's like the unquiet dead, people who died with still stuff to do, she brings them back to life so they can finish their unfinished business. And it's just like old school horror host as like the Green Lantern. And then it's just, comics of bringing this person back, and they did. They had to find their murderer, this person back, and they had to, find their son and tell them information. It was really good. Some of the books or some of the one-shots are great. Some of them are fine. None of them have been bad lately yet.
Yeah.
I have a few left, but like, it's high enough quality that it was definitely worth paying for it. What I found really interesting though is Carl Kessel did a Joker one-shot, and in this version, Joker is A, a woman, and B, a hero. But she's kind of a madcap, chaotic neutral or chaotic good hero, messing with cops more than she messes with anyone else kind of thing. Which, one, was a much more interesting version of the Joker than I usually find him. But two, like a year or two later, Carl Kessel launched the first Harley Quinn solo series.
Interesting.
Oh, damn. Carl, did you just really like this book?
Answer's yes.
And just like want to go back? And I mean, I've read that series. It's no longer my favorite Harley Quinn story, but it pretty much was until the Harley Quinn cartoon started coming out.
Yes.
So it's really good. So I was like, oh, wow, it's not the same, but man, you kept some ideas from this. Like,
That seems like a good transition.
yeah,
We watched some trailers.
we watched some trailers, including a Harley Quinn one.
Right, the Valentine's Day special?
An inappropriate Valentine's Day special or something like that.
Highly
or-
problematic.
That's
something
it,
like that.
highly problematic Valentine's Day special.
I need to get caught up on Harley.
I've seen the first two seasons, and I have read the Eat, Bang, Kill tour, which is the book that takes place between 2 and 3. If you haven't read it, I'll lend it to you.
Okay.
It's very good and very horny. The name is the Eat, Bang, Kill tour is very on brand, like with what they were promising. Have you watched any of the Harley Quinn?
I have not.
Okay, one, do it,
That's fair. I've been mostly watching Star Trek, but
but also do that. Also, good choice. But we are in that. By the end of season 2, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, spoiler, have become a couple.
gotcha.
So, I mean, I'm sure you noticed that from watching this trailer where they bang so good that all of Gotham gets...
Gets banging.
Yeah.
It
haven't
looks
seen
awesome.
I haven't seen the third season, so I'm not 100% sure why. I'm pretty sure I saw Bruce Wayne in prison at the end of that. But,
He's taking a break.
Probably.
he's a billionaire. He deserves it.
That more than anything, I'm just like, oh, I gotta get caught up.
Oh, yeah, cool. It put the impetus back onto, like, watching.
What else? Quantumania?
Quantum, I have nothing to say about that trailer. Other than, okay, Jonathan Majors looks like the most interesting Kang ever created, which is admittedly in a low bar, in my opinion. But like, still,
It's Kang.
he is, even not being a big Kang fan, Ant-Man is so outclassed in this battle.
The current, like, almost leading fan theory is that he's getting killed in this movie.
You know, there's been an ongoing kind of feeling that either he or Wasp is going to die in this movie. And he would make sense, especially he did die in Avengers Disassembled, and then his daughter, Cassie, who seems to be a big part of this story coming up.
And they've been slowly setting up all the kids anyway.
Yeah, kind of becomes a big hero out of it. I'm glad the fact that she's wearing the purple kind of implies a... in the mainstream Marvel universe, she became Stature, who is Giant Man, but Cassie. Like, honestly, like, there's nothing wrong with it, but her costume is 100% derivative of... It's Ant-Man's costume without the helmet and with, like, a mask. She mostly grows big. I really liked her in... There was an alternate timeline series called MC2 that was like the next generation of kids where she becomes Stinger. And it's the first time they ever portrayed Cassie as a hero in the comics or like a superpowered individual. And she had... It was Wasp Ant-Man derivative in the costume, but it was still very much her own, and it was very purple-based. And the way that she's designed here looks real close to Stinger, so I'm really hoping they go that direction.
Stinger versus Stature kind of reminds me that I think they just let it slip that Monica is going to be Photon.
That was... I mean, that's her current name in the comics, so that makes sense. Monica is the black agent in WandaVision who went through the bubble and got powers out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. She was Captain Marvel originally.
But now called Photon.
She went through a couple different names because she became Captain Marvel, and then Captain Marvel's son, Genis, because this is not Carol Danvers, this is Marvel.
Marvel, yeah.
Marvel. Oh, Jesus Christ. Janice Vell decided that he wanted to be Captain Marvel, and she was like, well, in fairness, you kind of have the right. And then he later changes his name not to Photon, or she changes her name to Pulsar or something like that. I don't remember. And then later on, he stops being Captain Marvel and changes his name and completely accidentally steals her name again. And she shows up when he's in New Thunderbolts going, what the hell? And so there's an entire, like, why? Why would you do this to me? So there's this entire scene of those two hanging out in a bar together, getting drunk, coming up with a new name for her so she can be, or so he can be whatever. Mm-hmm. And they settle on Photon. But for a while, in Next Wave, Agents of Hate, which we will be reading at some point, is incredible.
Okay.
She refers to herself as Auntie Monica and murders a lot of things.
That's fair.
Next Wave is so good. It's going to be our Elsa Bloodstone book.
What else did we watch?
Gotham Knights.
Oh, right.
So as I said while we were watching it, it looks like a superhero show made 10 years ago.
I feel like I would have been more interested in it 10 years ago.
Yeah, like I would have watched it after I watched Smallville.
Or even after, like, Arrow.
Arrow.
Yeah, early Arrow, especially. Well, and it falls into a lot of those things. It doesn't look like it's using any of the big name characters. When they said they were making a Gotham Knights show, I was like, okay, cool. Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin, maybe Red Robin as well. Like, if we want to have both Damian and, Batgirl, spoiler, like, there's a whole squad that you could use for Batman dies, here's where the proteges come from. And instead of that, we have, I guess, Batman's son, who, from what I can tell, is not a named character. A girl in sunglasses that calls herself Robin.
It's close enough to coming out that I'm sure they've released who all these characters are, right?
Uh-huh. And,
Joker's daughter.
Joker's daughter, who actually is a character, Duella Dent.
Yep.
It doesn't look bad. It looks... It feels weird to call it primitive, but,
Yeah.
when it comes to the style of storytelling, it looks primitive. That said, I thought Venom was primitive when it comes to superhero storytelling, and people really liked it.
Probably because it was super simple.
It was bad, but it was, a lot of fun to watch. Bad.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see.
I think people, when they come for superhero movies, just want fun.
I get it, but I think whenever anyone defends Venom, they're like, Tom Hardy just crawled in that thing and started eating raw lobsters. I'm like,
And?
yes, that's one scene. You realize there's a lot more to that movie, right?
Venom as a character is more interesting than that.
He's not.
I got who they all are. We got Oscar Morgan's Turner Hayes, Bruce Wayne's adopted son.
Adopted.
Never heard that name before. That sounds new.
Navia Robinson as Carrie Kelly. Robin.
Cool. Okay, The Dark Knight Returns Robin. That makes sense.
Fallon Smith as Harper Row.
She
Bluebird?
becomes Bluebird. That's actually kind of interesting. Bluebird is a character from the Scott Snyder run. She was really being set up as a big name future, possibly the next Robin kind of character.
Gotcha.
And then I don't know if he just decided he didn't want other people to play with her or just finish the story, because she just kind of got written out partway through.
Tyler DeChiara as Cullen Rowe, Harper's brother.
I want to say a trans brother, but I'm not 100% sure. It might just be. They are queer. That's all I can say for sure. But
Olivia Rose Keegan is daughter Joker. Anna Lore is Stephanie Brown.
okay, that's the spoiler. Mm-hmm. This is better than I thought. Is it just because Titan still exists that they're not using Dick Grayson? Or, like, Tim is right there. The best Robin. Like,
No.
you could even do Duke Thomas, who becomes the Signal, who briefly was a member of a Robin-based gang that was secretly run by Alfred the Butler. The Scott Snyder run got weird.
Yeah.
Rahart Adams as Brody March, son of Lincoln March.
Interesting.
Lincoln March is one of the... We thought we saw one of the Talons, so that's some Court of... No Batman series can resist using the Court of Owls anymore.
And that's the thing. Depending on how well they use the Court of Owls might be what gets me to watch the show. But Misha Collins as Harvey Dent.
That's the supernatural guy.
Yeah, that's all. Anytime he was on screen, I'm like, but that's Kaz. I'm like, Castiel is right there. A character whose entire outfit was inspired by John Constantine, so it makes it even weirder.
That's amazing.
Because Kripke's a giant Hellblazer fan.
That tracks. So it's part of, because they've already announced they're going to do a Superman crossover. It is part of the same universe as Superman and Lois, which confusingly is not a part of any of the Arrowverse stuff. They have crossover characters, but that is not the same Superman we saw on Crisis in Infinite Earths.
Right. Which is weird.
Because they don't like us, I guess. Like, I have weird feelings about the realization that the Arrowverse is done in like 12 episodes. Because The Flash has an abbreviated season, which is not a bad call. Every Flash season suffered from it being about 4 episodes too long.
At least.
4 to 12 episodes too long. And we have some spicy feelings for being a podcast about liking things today.
It's because I liked it so much.
That's the problem. Yeah, it's like, man, this is going great. Oh, man, there's like 8 episodes left to the finale. It's time for Barry to completely revert half a season because they ran out of time.
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't really watching much of the Arrowverse, but I'm still kind of bummed that like this...
It's ending.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming back, though, for those final flashes.
Yeah, Green Arrow's going to be there. Are any of the Legends?
Maybe.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if White Canary showed up.
White Canary and Brandon Ruth as the Atom are the only ones that like you kind of... I mean, they're the ones that had ties to Barry. Oh, I think Kid Flash is going to be there.
Oh, yeah. He was a legend for a bit. He was better on Legends than he was in The
They did
Flash.
not know what to do with him in The Flash. It was...
I mean, everything wasn't better in Legends, though, for all...
everything in the Arrowverse.
And then Mando's trailer.
Oh, yeah, Mando Season 3.
Mando!
Which, mostly as I was watching, I was just appreciating how much I really do love the design of the Naboo N1 fighter.
Yeah.
Ever since Episode 1 came out, that's always been one of my favorite dogfighters.
Also, this season looks like it's Oops, all Mandos.
Oops.
Yeah.
And
There's
I'm okay
no
with
oops.
this.
They are super aware of what they were doing.
They're going to a city of Mandos, and what could go wrong?
On a planet of Mandos.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Katie Sackhoff back, and I've never been a huge Bo-Katan fan, but I do like Katie Sackhoff, so, like, bring it on.
Would Grief Karga just explode if he was dropped on a planet of Mandos?
I am.
Mando!
I feel like he'd be like, no, I'm not doing this.
Nope.
I'm just gonna go. Like, leave the baby with me.
That or just be this continuous, like, he's trying to get his attention. Mando! And they all just turn. No, not you. No.
Other
that
Mando.
Other Mando. The shiny one.
With the kid. The
one with
little
the baby.
green
I
kid.
do like that everyone is just straight up being like,
Your son.
he's your dad. Because there's all, I mean, that energy's been going on since the 2nd episode, but finally just admitting, not being like, I'm going to have to send you away, little guy, but like, this is my child and I'll murder you if you come near him. My wife
Happy
is
to-
so in love with Mando, and this needs to be understood, because she makes sure it's understood every time. Not Pedro Pascal. She's got nothing against Pedro Pascal, but people keep being like, yeah, Pedro's really hot. And she's like, no. Mando. He should keep the helmet on. Let him have that Mando DILF energy. That's what I'm into. It comes up a lot. And considering she married me, I think dads are just her type. I'm not a dad, but like, I'm a dad.
Big dad energy. I do still say Grogu just had the wrong Jedi Master. If he would have just been trained by Quinlan Voss,
Yeah.
it's all
Quinn
good.
would have just been like, can I just go with you?
Exactly.
Like, let's
Quinlan's
just go.
like,
Let's
can
not-
I join your guys' adventures? Because this seems like a fun time. We'll school him out of the back of
Out of the back of the van. Yeah. It makes sense that Luke was like super scared of restarting the Jedi, because considering he got the equivalent of like the 2-week intro to what it is to be a Jedi, and then was declared like graduate. Like, didn't even finish his first semester of freshman year and was given a diploma and told to go into the workforce.
We're doing that now anyway. What are you talking about?
Yeah. God, one of my teacher friends told me recently that they don't really do recess anymore.
Okay.
And ready to burn it all down now.
That was like the one positive thing in school.
Yeah, you got 3 recesses a day.
You got 3?
Ready to burn it all down now.
I got
I'm trying
one.
to remember how many. I got 3.
I got one 15-minute recess.
That makes me so blindingly angry.
The rest of the time was math.
We had like a 15-minute recess at like 9:30. We had lunch and then a 45-minute recess, but it was one of those that if you like ate so fast that you like forgot to breathe in the meantime, you could get like 50. And then a 15...
Which, not hard for a kid.
Right? And they just unhinge a jaw, like shove the apple down and be like, I'm good, let's go.
Grab a milk cart, let's go.
And then somewhere around like 1:30, there was another 15-minute recess. And then after that, we didn't get anything done. Like the teacher knew that was the like, all right, now we're going to do art class. Get the macaroni out.
Don't eat it. Put it on the canvas.
Stop eating the glue. You also can't eat that.
Yeah, mine was similar. I can't remember the exact times, but yeah, similar.
I don't know how I remember it. That's like kind of sad.
I remember you get one 15-minute recess, and we'd all talk about Resident Evil, because we weren't supposed to be playing it, but, we're kids, who cares? And then we would have a half-hour lunch, and then it was just class the rest of the day.
Thriving black market of Pokemon cards. It was dirty. There was like a mob. The Pokemon card mafia that was developing.
Mafia. Can I interest you in a Pikachu?
Friggin' scammers being like, well, technically this Zapdos could beat your Charizard, so it's a better card. I'm like, well, they're technically correct. Oh, I'll say trade it. No, what are you doing? I didn't know we were talking about trades. Mando.
I'm excited to see what happens.
I just want to see all the brightly painted Mandos. Like, I'm more interested in seeing different Mando armors than I am anything else right now.
I mean, it seems like we're going to learn even more about Mandalorians.
We're going to learn more about Mandalorians. We're going to see Babu Freak from Rise of Skywalker, who was a fun little character that I wanted more of, so sure. I do like that Mando is slowly tying us into the sequel trilogy. But maybe they should have done Mando first and then the sequel trilogy?
Yeah.
So it's not like reverse engineered, oh, this is actually not terribly done? I mean, we've talked about it. I like most of the sequel movies better than the prequels anyways, but... Oh, I watched Tales of the Jedi.
Oh,
the mini... It's incredible.
Yeah.
I watched
it's like
half
6
of them.
episodes.
I still need to finish it, but...
The final few, and you need to finish Clone Wars, so the final few won't have quite the same effect on you. But, spoiler, we watch in the final episode, Ahsoka steal an Inquisitor's lightsaber and kill him with it because she didn't have hers on her at the time. Like,
sweet.
You're like, this cool looking Inquisitor, like, time for a big fight. She's gonna have to run a bunch, find where she hid her lightsaber, and nope, she just like dodged once, pulled it out of his hand, not with the Force. She just yoinked it.
Yoink.
And stabbed him. It's like, ooh.
That's scary.
Okay there.
Like, that happened.
Ooh.
Sweet. Yeah, I need to finish it.
All right. Okay. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will
Talk about Blade.
It's Blade in time.
It's Blade in time.
It's always interesting to watch movies that I watched a lot when I was like, oh man, I watched this movie so much in high school. And be like, oh wow, you really heavily influenced my entire sense of design for years to come as an illustrator. Like, when I draw armor, it's somewhere, like, any kind of body armor, it's somewhere between Blade and a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like, that's the range that I have.
That's a good range.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. Honestly, I thought this movie held up way better than I expected
me
it
too. Other than some of the use of CG, but not as bad
It
as
was
Blade 2.
1998.
We'll get there. The 100% the worst part of Blade 2 involves the CG.
In
So
1998, that would have been cutting edge. That's like watching old PS1 games being like, the graphics will never be better than this. It's so lifelike.
Yeah.
You've never seen it before,
Nope.
Mac?
This movie is almost as old as I am.
Wait,
Every comic I had Blade advertisements in it.
let's real quick to tie this in on the Newb Island side of things. You've been learning about all these characters.
Yes.
We did a bunch of vampire stuff.
Yes.
What's the first main big differences you've noticed?
I was surprised that his mom wasn't a doppelganger.
Oh my god.
That's actually really good.
That was not where I was going, but yeah.
Whistler was fun.
Yo, Whistler needs to be in the comic.
Yeah,
book.
Whistler
That's,
needs to
that's
be
a
in the
major
comics.
mistake that they've not.
I am kind of sad that after reading all this Blade stuff, I saw him. I was like, "Who's that supposed to be?" And this is a brand new person. It was really good. I'm sad they didn't use him more. Now that he killed himself, and then what else? The Blood God.
La Magra.
I don't know what, because they're like, we're gonna summon the Blood God. I was like, is this another code for like, hey, we found Dracula's body, we're bringing him back to life? And I was
No.
like, oh
Wait
no.
for Blade Trinity. Spoiler alert. The worst version of Dracula I've ever seen on screen is in Blade Trinity.
And Deacon.
Stephen Dorff instead of like an old man.
Instead of an old German man.
Yeah, just Deacon. Yeah.
Yeah. Deacon Frost in the comic books, like, oh yeah. I am here to make doppelganger of Blade to kill Dracula. And this one, like, young, pasty, terrible white
I
boy.
vamped your mom. Also, she's trying to kiss you.
Yeah. Okay. So like,
We'll get to that in a second. I have to, like, they have the perfect person in this movie.
Chris Christopherson.
No, Udo Kier.
Oh yeah.
Which one was Udo Kier?
Dragonetti. The one that they pull the fangs out of.
Oh yeah, and
he
he
blows
burn him
up.
on the Oh,
Yeah.
he would have been perfect.
Yeah, he's German.
When I saw him, I was like,
doesn't matter.
when he started talking, I was like, oh, it's Deacon. I was watching this with my wife because she's never watched either. Like, oh, that's Deacon. And they say his name, like, oh, that's not Deacon.
Oh man.
Yeah, Udo Kier is great. It's weird seeing him in this movie now with, like, context of having watched a lot more movies. Because growing up, I was just like, okay, this was the first time I ever saw
Yeah.
Udo Kier. Now, like, having done fried squirms for years and
You've
stuff,
seen a
and
lot
like,
of Udo
and just
Kier.
watching movies in general, he's one of those weird gets because he kind of does anything, so he is in a lot of just
Yeah, he's a European
crap.
actor.
But he's also done a lot of like really, really highfalutin like art house movie type stuff too.
He's seen the whole spectrum in his career.
Oh god, I'm blanking a name and it's driving me nuts. Who's the I want to see the baby actor? He also makes a lot of documentaries in Mando.
Oh, Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog is like my dream casting for Deacon Frost. Like,
want to see the
like
baby.
20 years ago, Werner Herzog.
Oh, that would be great.
So,
Anyway,
for General Nerdery folks, in the comic books, Deacon Frost is an old German man who, when he bites you, he doesn't just turn you into a vampire, he creates a vampiric doppelganger of you.
And
yeah,
you're
no,
also
he's
a
not
vampire.
late 90s.com yuppie.
for reasons I don't understand. As well as Ghost Rider's buddy being like the most obnoxious white boy with dreads of all time. I liked him. He clearly was having the time of his life making this movie. But like,
Oh, yeah, this is the movie I fell in love with Donald Logue, and we'll watch anything that he's in.
I'm gonna be a naughty god. And you're like, ugh.
I'm gonna be a naughty vampire god.
Apparently he was, I think, supposed to be killed in the beginning, and once he was on set, they were like,
Keep
this guy
it,
needs
keep
to
it."
be in the movie more, because he is hilarious.
They're right.
Keep cutting off his arm.
And I guess he improv'd most of his dialogue, too.
Heck yeah.
Dad wanted to watch a vampire movie when I was like 12, 13, 14, you know,
And Blade.
shortly after this came out. And I was like, I love Blade. Let's watch Blade. I'm really excited about this. I really like Blade. And Dad's like, yeah, all right. And immediately, I knew I had made the wrong choice with this.
Because the underground.
And he didn't make it to Blade showing up. Like, because that guy, whose name I've already forgotten,
Donald
Logue getting blown in the thing, and he's like looking at me. I'm like 13, 14, being like, great movie, right? Like,
the blood.
And then the blood starts pouring out. He's like, I'm done. This is trash. I'm like, you wanted a vampire movie. What were you expecting here?
Dracula.
Yeah. So I took it downstairs and watched it, and he judged me relentlessly.
All right. Blade.
So,
I probably wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't for this movie.
That's fair.
same, actually.
This is like one of like the most foundational movies to like young me that I can think of. It is one of the first movies I can think of being just super hyped for, like
This is what cool
counting
is.
down to when
Like,
it comes out. Like me and my friends would get excited watching the trailer for it coming on TV because Wesley Snipes looked like the coolest person on earth. And also,
and
not
he
gonna lie,
cares in this one.
yeah, yeah, he does care in this one. Not gonna lie, we misunderstood because the glaive at the beginning in
Where you through it.
yeah, that's in the trailer. We didn't know that that was a circular room. And so when we were talking about that trailer, we would always say like, oh yeah, and Blade's so fast, he throws it and then runs in front of it and catches it after it's killed some people.
Okay.
So awesome.
I remember sitting on like a play set kind of thing in the 90s talking about the ad that was just Wesley Snipes standing there in his Blade pose. With the like black and red in the background. No, just the like straight down one. Like
okay.
Yeah, this is really, really early memories.
This came out the same year as John Carpenter's Vampires, and the thing I wanted to most be in my life was a vampire hunter. I definitely was making sketches of all the equipment I would use in like my school notebooks.
I discovered this one and Vampire Hunter D within a year of each other, I think.
I was going to say, I know I didn't see it till later, but it would have been like during this time period that I would have been like walking into Hastings and seeing Vampire Hunter D there and stuff.
Because I don't think I actually got to see Blade until right around when Blade 2 came out. Like, for whatever reason, you know, I was 10 and the movie opens with a blowjob and a
Blood shower.
blood shower.
And it was also one of the very first DVDs I owned. So, also just like...
We
the
rented it so much
novelty-
I should have just bought it.
The novelty of like the new technology and being able to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
That as well. Like I watch this movie all the time. I've watched all the special features on the DVD multiple times.
Side note, I watched this on Tubi.
I watched this.
Which
Same.
I appreciate that Tubi shows things for free. I am not used to commercials anymore.
That's fair. I rented it on YouTube for like $4.
I honestly, like, depending on how Blade 2 goes, I might just order a box set and then just ignore the fact that Blade Trinity exists.
Yeah.
Until we have to watch it.
It's not good, bud. I'm warning you right now.
It's really going to be a battle between that and Morbius.
I'm actually more concerned about Trinity than I am Morbius because I remember Trinity being kind of boring, and bad is easier to talk about than boring.
Trinity at least has Ryan Reynolds.
Just
Hamming it
auditioning so hard for Deadpool.
Oh, it is 100%.
We'll
yeah.
get there. We'll get there. That's definitely not Hannibal King. So you actually read, we talked about this. Well, one of the things that we read was, what was it called? Crescent City Blues?
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that is the last Blade comic to come out
Before
this movie.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was like, because I looked it up. That came out in, I don't have the exact months, but this will be like the right amount of time. Like, that came out in July. This came out in September. August.
Yeah.
And then a Blade solo series launched like 2 months later where he was suddenly
Wesley Snipes.
the Wesley Snipes Blade. Like,
When
the
would-
change was that fast.
When was the Spider-Man animated episode?
It would have been before this because that Spider-Man episode heavily influenced this adaptation of Blade. Because I was going to say, it is almost unfair to, like, compare how this Blade was to the character before, because it so fundamentally changed the character of Blade.
Yes.
In ways that, like, you kind of understood, but watching going like, oh no, it was... Because, I mean, we read other Blade stuff, but it was stuff that came out, like, 15 years, 20 years later, so it, like, could seem like, oh, here's a natural progression of time of what...
Actually,
of Blade turning into a leather daddy edgelord. No, it was a week and a half.
he went to the store, he's like, I want that. He bought the coat and called it good.
All right, and I'm tired of these wooden daggers that we'll never mention again. Time for, like, so many katanas. It's the late 90s, boys.
That was 96 for the animated Blade.
Oh, so pretty, like...
Right in that time frame.
Yeah, like, they might have been in pre-production at that point. I mean, like, that was awesome.
Well, that's one of the things. They've been trying to make this movie for a while.
Really?
Since, like, the late 80s. One of the earliest versions of the script had LL Cool J attached to be Blade.
Yes.
Whoa.
100% yes.
I think that was the version that they were developing in, like, 94 rather than 98. But I think they kept having a hard time securing financing.
Yeah, because it's Blade the Vampire Hunter.
And it wasn't until they brought Wesley Snipes on, who also, like, loved this movie.
Yeah, man.
He was having fun.
And part of the way they got him on was he was also made executive producer. Which I think is part of what leads to some of the problems.
In Blade Trinity.
Because he has that kind of pull to be able to... They can't tell him what to do.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
This movie is really the foundation of the modern superhero movie, more than almost any other movie I can think of. Like, you know, Superman by Richard Donner really set the bar for, like, what... You know, we can do superhero movies as superhero movies and take it seriously. Tim Burton did similar things with Batman and stuff, but, like... This was the one to bring in, I don't want to say a realistic edge because you just watched this movie, but like
Empire Explode. It was fun.
Chunky salsa.
I know, it's so cool.
Or Pearl, the like big fat thing that I super forgot about until that
like,
showed up.
I had the flashback to the Moon Knight run we read, and he goes to that fat guy. He's like, "Don't play the don't gamble." He's like, "You got it."
Oh God, from Doctor Strange Damnation.
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
But like, not more realistic, but a harder edge than anything else had really. Because I mean, even Batman Returns, which was the more like, you know, darker Batman movie of the of that run, had that more like Tim Burton surrealism as opposed to gritty urban.
Yeah, it wasn't
lived in.
It had a more Jason Bourne feel.
It was gritty, but in kind of like a grimy way.
Yeah.
It wasn't gritty as in like when we think of like making it mean.
I do love
not grimdark.
I do love some of the like stylings of 90s action movies that just don't exist anymore for various reasons. Anytime he was in the car and they were showing time passing, they just like sped up everything behind him but kept him at the normal pace as he's talking.
Yep.
Or there's one scene, it's when he's in the hospital and like he kills a vampire. 2 cops run out of a completely empty hallway, take like 3 shots at him, he turns around, swears at them, and they just turn around and run back into the completely empty hallway. Like, I'm so used to the like wildly massive budget that we have now that of all of those extras and stuff to like look lived in. They clearly did not have enough money for extras in that scene.
$45 million budget.
Friggin' half of that to Wesley Snipes, probably.
Probably.
And yet, the number of times, or I guess this kind of fits in with the 90s stuff, the number of times that Blade just opens fire with automatic machine guns in a crowded public space, not only misses the vampire, but misses literally every single person, luckily. Don't want to see him not missing all those people, and just like casually saunters off. I'm like, wow, this is pre-2001. Like, this is...
There was 2 scenes that I questioned.
Only
Just 2?
That I actually questioned. It was the one he's outside beating on the cop in public and no one steps in.
Yeah, that
I was like,
one.
I looked at Nikki, I was like, what? Like, this wouldn't fly then, especially now. Like, someone would be like, oh, look at that.
Just not even looking. Just...
And then not shoot at him when he's running away. I was like, Blade would have took that shot, no problem. He wouldn't care. You watched this guy throw a kid through a hot dog stand, he didn't care then. Why would he care about shooting a random adult stranger?
I can't remember her name because they say it like twice in the entire movie. But the woman that is just the nice nurse lady in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Karen Jensen?
Dr. Karen Jensen. Should have been Saffron.
Yes, should have been Saffron.
His girlfriend in the comic book.
That's in the company, yeah. I was surprised.
I liked her way more than I was expecting to rewatching. I mean, I liked her back in the day, and but, you know, I was 13. Mostly I was like, cool things are happening, and she's really pretty. Like, that was what my expectations were. She has a lot more agency than I would expect as from a 90s semi-damsel.
It's over. Ah! Tells her ex-boyfriend's over and he immediately gets killed by a vampire.
Yeah, friggin'.
It wasn't
or
even
like,
a frame of difference. It's over. And
she does shift from like, oh, I don't know if I can kill this person. He's like, you have to learn to pull the trigger. And he's like, all right. And then just blows up Pearl like 2 scenes later. Like,
he moved.
Great line. It would have been very
Great
disappointing if they hadn't.
I had completely forgotten. Now, obviously, there's one line in this movie that I 100% remembered because it's should have been the tagline. But
Some mother always have to ice skate uphill.
always trying to ice skate uphill. I forgot how much more they cuss in this movie.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Just constantly.
Well, this was the first R-rated superhero movie too, I want to say.
It was, I mean, I don't have complaints. I was just like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
They advertised this in the back of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Like,
I kind of want a gif when he's fighting those 2 vampires in the hallway out before he gets tased in his mom's bedroom. And this is the first time
just that sentence out of context is the most perfect sentence ever stated.
this is the first time you see him use the new serum, and he pops it into the 2 vampires in the hallway. I want a gif of the lady on the ground doing that with the ugly face.
That gave me such Big Trouble in Little China vibes for some reason. Like,
I remember I'm laughing as soon as the scene happens. The CGI is crazy. I'm just laughing, and he's like, "That's the grossest thing I've seen in a long time." I couldn't help myself.
You know what I realized? So, the meetup with Stephen Dorff outside where he throws the little girl, which also invincible little girl.
yeah, good job, kid. Like,
She goes right through that stand and is just fine.
and trauma for the rest of her life, but no broken bones.
She's fine.
She went limp.
Probably did.
But the other thing we get, pre-Matrix bullet time.
I was gonna say, I don't think The Matrix was inspired by this movie. Like, it's just the timeline doesn't work quite. But this,
Well, because we also have the Gap commercial going on around this time period.
Oh,
true,
you're right.
But like, this came out in '98. Matrix came out in '99. But these two definitely had some like ancient ancestor that was they're connected to. Like,
Blood God.
Yes, La Magra. That's what I'm saying. Not like a movie that inspired
Blade's
both of them.
fashion works in the Matrix.
Yes, you could interpose characters
Scarily so.
either way and change nothing.
Because they even use swords in those types of guns.
Yeah,
Matrix.
man.
Yeah.
This was peak 90s fashion. If you want to look at like I was talking about how this affects my basic design inspirations.
Equilibrium. When's Equilibrium compared to
A
these?
couple years later,
Okay.
but not too much
Not
later.
too much.
But like my basic like the basics of my design. If you look down at the very core, it's this, the Matrix, Trigun, and Cowboy Bebop. Everything I design is kind of comes out of those somewhere. I do love, well, okay, actually a couple of things. One, they're going to all of this work, bringing back the blood god La Magra, when all you need to do to go outside is wear mascara and sunscreen and maybe a helmet if you're bored.
SPF 500 now.
Like, it's not... Marceline the Vampire Queen had to try harder to stay out of the sun than these people did. And then they successfully summon the vampire god La Magra, the invincible vampire that will bring about the end of the world. And turns out, all you need to defeat it is anticoagulants.
He blows up.
You can buy, like, over the counter.
Also, it made it look like all of them would die and some god we replaced, but instead we just got Pacey.com boy and, with red eyes. And like, there's also like,
Yeah,
when
but
he's
CGI
here,
red
everybody
eyes.
around him will turn to vampires. I'm like, well, the city's right there and nothing happened. Like,
So, interesting story. That was how it ended. I don't know if it was 100% finished off, but there is like a deleted scene. You can go an alternate ending. You can check on the DVD. But they did an ending where he basically turns into like a giant blood tornado. And like it's like sending off like pulses and stuff.
That's a freaking Death Clock episode.
that's so cool.
And it tested terribly.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
It doesn't look good. Like I said, I don't know if the effects were completely finished on it, but like there's a version you can watch. Like it's a really terrible looking.
We just stole the tornado from Twister and dyed it red.
Oh no, that would have been so much better.
Okay.
You know how it looks like when his like torso is reattaching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, but a tornado.
Gross.
Not good.
That look Blade gives him. You turn around, he's like,
Are you kidding me?
But,
no,
like-
it's the same. I can't say the line because we're not supposed to swear in this episode. But when the cops shoot him and it's, but are you serious right now? Like, I was like, yeah, Blade.
But yeah, it tests like across the board. Audiences came out liked the movie up until the end where the like interesting, attractive bad guy turns into a blood tornado that we have to suddenly just
that's fair, I
look
guess.
at.
Let's talk about how 1998 it is that Steven Dorff in that kind of heroined outlook was like, people were like, that's sexy.
That's true.
Wesley Snipes is standing right there.
Literally anybody else in the movie. Anybody else, even the weird pearl person.
And that being said, the actual original ending for the script that they didn't film was Blade was supposed to fail.
It feels like that setting up. Like he comes out, they have an oddly erotic scene where he drinks her blood, and then
That was, I mean, okay, so vampires sucking the blood has always been a really, like, exchanging fluids, really unsubtle, like, they're having sex.
but they really do.
But the whole on, like,
yeah.
humping noise that he makes the whole time.
Yeah.
She's like, please, stop.
She's
Blade.
saying don't stop.
Okay, yeah, man, my point stands.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, okay, I get it, but
Ooh.
come on. But like the scenes prior to when he's being slightly bled out, it really felt like they wanted him to fail. So I was confused why nothing actually happened at the end of the movie. They gave him red eyeliner and some contact to make his eyes red, and he could control his own blood. He literally killed the rest of the old blood for no reason. Like, they collectively had more power than he did now.
Yeah, the original plan was this one ends with him failing and like a big vampire apocalypse starting.
and then he's like, all
The
right,
second one was
time
supposed
to go to
be
work. This is Blade's happy place now.
Yeah.
Like,
the second one was supposed to be him like fighting while like the world is turning into vampires, and somehow Morbius was going to be involved.
Because Morbius.
Because Morbius. And then the third one was going to be like Blade protecting the tiny pockets of humanity that were still left over.
I'm glad they didn't go that route, to be honest. Like, it's a big story, but like very diminishing returns. It
Yeah.
becomes very Night of the Living Dead.
Plus, I think there's other movies that probably did that better.
Yeah, exactly. Sid Morbius. So we talked about this in the Blade episode we did of the comic, but they needed to explain in the comic book why Blade now is the Daywalker, because before
You Dampier.
he was a Dampier, but it just like he didn't age, really. That was really the only specialty Blade had in those old school comics. But now he's the Daywalker. He's like a legendary vampire, half vampire, all of the strengths, none of the weaknesses.
Even
And
though-
their solution in the comic book, instead of just being like, shut up and roll with it, was he was bitten by Morbius, and it made him all weird.
I think if Morbius bit anybody, they get all weird.
Yeah, man, a heroin addict nibbling on you
Like
is...
Spider-Man's the
I
only
know
exception.
it's not actually heroin, but like,
It's heroin.
as we talked about, his one plan is to inject questionable chemicals into himself. Plus side, if it has bat blood.
If you have all these defenses in your super evil base against all the superheroes, all you need from Morbius is a wall of needles. And he's like, I'm going to use all of them.
I'll be set. You're good. Go do your thing. Morbius's plans are even worse than just injecting pure liquid garlic into the bloodstream.
Essence of garlic. Oh, it's so bad.
They're like, well, it might kill you. I'm like, yeah, man, but I don't think that has anything to do with vampires.
Also,
I think that's just...
vampire mace.
That I liked. That I was...
Who said I was a vampire? So good.
That cop had the worst blood. Like, snuck into your house, it's fine. You okay? Don't worry about it. Time to murder you. Like, Jesus, bud, you went, like, straight to 80.
He deserved his fate, but he had a really rough ride getting to the end of his story.
Here's Blade warning us ACAB back in 1998, 25 years ago.
90% of the time Krieger's on screen, he's just getting beat up.
Or killed. That poor boy. He's
So, I guess the graphics of the user interface itself didn't hold up, but I kind of completely bought the computer algorithm decoding the scrolls and how it was shown, even though it is 98.
Yeah.
There is something about and it's the part that doesn't hold up, the CGI, like, building the room out of, like, the green lights and stuff. That
was whack.
It's so timeless to me, though. And it's because I grew up watching that, like, green stuff like that over a black screen. I mean, as far back as Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, like, that's what, like, futuristic kind of looks like to me, and it's the most 90s way to look at a computer. But, I mean, also, my first computer was black and white, except it was green and white, or green and black instead. Like, it was, I played Oregon Trail on a DOS computer at 5 at my, like, computer lab at Lewis and Clark Elementary. Like,
I love this movie.
I do. I kind of want to watch it again. Like,
And it's still basically the best version of Blade. Like, they've refined it a little bit in the comics and stuff, but he's still more compelling in this movie than he is most of the time on the page.
and like, I legitimately really like old school Blade, the pre-movie Blade, Tomb of Dracula stuff. But this is so good.
He's so cool.
And it shows the fact that they haven't updated Blade significantly since 1998.
Because it's gold.
They've done some tweaks, and like, I'm sure there will be some more who's playing Blade up next? Mahershala
Ali.
Which I'm really, really into, by the by.
I mean, I know that we both mentioned it. We've both been playing Midnight Suns, and it's basically Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask how that Blade...
He's a little bit nicer than Snipes.
Oh, well, a lot bit nicer.
Okay, a lot bit. He's at a point in his career where he's willing to settle down and work with a team.
Yeah. He's become the dad of a team finally, and I think it's really mellowed him out.
But you can tell that he's Snipes' Blade.
Yeah.
Partially because he's being voiced by Michael Jai White.
Oh, that's such good casting. Oh my god.
Which is such good casting.
Michael Jai White could just play Blade.
Yes. Yes, he could.
Technically, Blade, if you want to get technical, I owe you too.
Yeah.
I do like that Snipes for years after this was like, I'm making Black Panther next. And eventually, it wasn't Phage yet, but whoever was running Marvel movie stuff at the time was like, you're Blade. You're Blade. It makes sense that the Midnight Suns Blade is nicer, because I just don't think Wesley Snipes knows how to play a nice person. Maybe the movie where he was a drag queen. Other than that.
Yeah. To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
That's the one.
Great movie. I was going to say, he's Wesley Snipes' Blade down to the point where his legendary card, once you unlock it, is the glaive.
Nice, yeah.
And
I
you
hate
throw
that
it
it's
and
called
it
a glaive, because a glaive is another term for a large polearm with a sword on the end, but like...
It's really fun and pokey.
Right. I believe his is called a glaive in a reference to the movie Krull, where the throwing bladed weapon in that was referred to as a glaive.
Growing up, I saw commercials for Blade, and I also saw commercials for, I think it's called Underworld.
Yeah.
And I always...
Have you not seen Underworld?
No.
Oh my god, we're doing a General Nerdery episode of Underworld sometime later this year with
Yes,
Max.
we are.
When I was like 5 through 10 years old, I thought they were the same thing.
I get it.
That's fair.
I get
That's
it.
fair.
And so when I was watching this, because I'd forgotten about that, because I've since learned they're different, I
Blade would
saw
have
the movie.
so much fun in the Underworld
Yeah,
universe.
he would destroy them.
Because in
But
my head...
they'd be more of a fight than the vampires he's normally up
That's
against.
fair.
Yeah.
He
But
let so many vampires escape in that first scene. Like,
Yeah, he does.
blow up the
look, to
building.
be fair, though, some of them were trying to stab him, and those take priority.
Just saying, he did not plot that out well.
He killed the DJ.
I don't know if it's so much that he didn't plot it out well, so much as it's just like, if they get away, that just means I have something to do tomorrow night.
Right?
True.
Like,
Also,
I gotta be busy on a Friday.
He also timed it for the blood showers to stop because he doesn't want to get his leather too dirty.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, watching the movie, I had flashbacks when I was a kid because I saw commercials for both, and watching the movie was like, oh, I used to think this was like Underworld, and so I think part of the reason I didn't like the ending is because in my head I thought the end of this movie would lead to an Underworld scenario, and I feel like that would work.
I've seen Underworld, the first one only, once, when it was in theaters. And it is a moment of one of the most important days of my life looking back, but not for any reason actually relating to Underworld. I had fallen entirely out of Western comic books. I was only reading and watching manga and anime, which don't do that. And I love manga and anime, but like, don't do that. But I was, again, like 10, 12, 13. Like, I was just about to dive into this. But I had time to kill before the Underworld started. So I went to the store and picked up I went to Hastings, really, let's place this in the era that it was in, and picked up a copy of Batman Hush, drawn by Jim Lee. And
Hush
read
is
it
so
like
good.
15 times, and then was like trying to read it in the theaters while watching Underworld.
So good.
Underworld definitely hits differently when you realize that one of the guys is going to go on to play Aziraphale in Good Omens.
Yes.
The angel in Good Omens plays a vampire lord in
No,
What?
werewolf.
a werewolf lord. Oh my god!
I had no idea.
What's his name?
He's Lucian.
No, the actor.
Michael Sheen.
He plays in 30 Rock a character named Wesley Snipes. And they're like, what, like the actor? And he goes, take the name Wesley. Which one do you think it's most likely to be? A handsome black man or a fussy little Englishman like myself?
No, okay, that's fair.
Was this before or after Wesley Snipes was out of prison for, what was it,
This is
tax
way
evasion?
before.
Okay.
Yeah, this is way before.
That's probably the most tame thing someone can go to prison for in that circle of people.
I do want to bring up in one of the early versions that they tried to get made, before LL Cool J was attached to Blade, it was Richard Roundtree.
What?
I don't know Richard Roundtree.
Shaft.
Oh my god. Good lord.
He's a bad mother.
Some bad mothers are always trying to ice skate uphill. Man, I would also have watched that 100%. I had it and I lost it.
No, that's fair. Shaft.
That just
I get it.
wiped out everything I had going in my brain. It really shows, and I mean, even reminds me, we talked about how big Tomb of Dracula is, and we never read any of the actual Tomb of Dracula series. We only read any of the follow-up mini, which was also very good.
Mm-hmm.
Strange, but very good. Gene Colan did some of his best work. But it really shows how important that run is, even if it's not widely known to the wider community outside of like dedicated comic fans. I'm me. I've been helping run 3 nerd podcasts for like 3 years now, and I did not understand how important Tomb of Dracula was really until reading some of this. But it shows how big it is that they spent 10 years making Blade, of all things.
Is it one of the earliest Marvel movies that came out? That actual Marvel movies without the Marvel tag?
When I say it's the first Marvel movie, It basically is. There was a Punisher movie starring Dolph Lundgren that might have been straight to TV. I don't think so, but...
Right, because 98 was also the year of the Nick Fury, David Hasselhoff.
That movie's fun. It's beyond awful.
Same writer as Blade.
David S. Goyer?
Who went on, of course, to co-write the Nolan Batman trilogy.
And a lot of the later, like, DCU stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude's been super involved in comic book stuff.
It was weird watching it. There's no mention of Marvel anywhere in the movie.
No.
There's no splash screen at the beginning, nothing at the end. It's just Blade. So if you didn't know if that was a Marvel thing, you wouldn't know it anytime during or after.
X-Men wouldn't come out for another 2 years, because X-Men first came out in, I think, 2000. Spider-Man, I think, was 2001, 2002?
With Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
There had been, I mean, obviously the Incredible Hulk, but that had all been TV shows.
Yeah.
And other than some made-for-TV movies in the 80s...
Not counting cartoons, I guess.
Yeah. Marvel had a heyday of cartoons in the 90s with X-Men, the animated series, Spider-Man, the animated series.
But a lot of those are kind of just for kids.
Terribly voice-acted, but fun. The Iron Man one that lasted like 10 episodes. The Hulk one that lasted about 15. Marvel... This is a strange time for Marvel. Because it had gotten really big a few years before this in comic books because of the collector's boom. I mean, X-Men 1, still going, you have no idea how big it was in the 90s. X-Men 1 by Claremont and Lee sold over 1 million issues. These days, a good selling comic will sell like 300,000.
It's really good.
And that's a good selling comic book. Like, this is... people were obsessively buying comic books, being like, this is going to pay for your college someday, son. And turns out, when that many people buy Death of Superman... Yeah, exactly. It's like the guy at the comic book store, he was telling me he'll get stuff like that every once in a while, and he'll be like, good news. You're right, this comic from the 40s is worth 80 times what it was. And they're like, they're like, but it sold for a nickel back then. And they're like, oh. Like, I'll be nice. I'll give you $3 for it. Like... When the speculator market crashed, and it crashed fast for the comic books, a bunch of companies went over, and Marvel went bankrupt. I think Marvel went bankrupt the year this movie came out, within 2 years.
Because it'd be right around this time period that they're making the deals with Sony for Spider-Man.
They're selling the Spider-Man, they're selling Daredevil, they're selling Fantastic Four, they're selling X-Men to Fox. They're desperately selling off the movie rights because... Who cares about superhero movies? The most recent one to come out was Batman Forever, which was critically and financially a failure. You and I have our own opinions that we've talked about many times with that movie. But no one else liked it but us. So this movie came out and put Marvel... This movie, I don't want to say like it saved Marvel, but it might have. It made Marvel a financially viable, like, property source. And this one selling... When Blade sold, they went, okay, we can make an X-Men movie and, like, that'll sell. Like, we can let Sam Raimi make Spider-Man, finally.
Well, and it was also something...
James Cameron stopped talking about it, so... Sorry.
When, after all the properties were sold off, and Marvel was like, well... We need to make movies out of somebody. Who do we have? What can we do this with? They had an example to point back and be like, dude, we had a super successful movie with Blade. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just get the script in place.
Yeah, just actually care about the movie? I mean, and that's what's... Every superhero movie that I didn't like, it's almost never the actors. It's absolutely never the characters. I mean, unless it's something like that Steel movie from the early 90s that no one liked or wanted.
Except for me.
Fair enough.
But, like...
Guess who already loved the story of John Henry when that movie came out?
Yeah, I did too, but I was much more about Tall Tale, The Legend of Pecos Bill, rather than...
And had like 3 different Shaq binders for school.
See, I wasn't a Shaq guy, so that's why. But, God, Shaq's very brief, I'm gonna be a movie star. And I was like, I don't... You know what, man? You're already set.
Better than him being a rapper.
Oh my god, what?
I dislike Shaq. I don't care what he does.
Never heard any of Shaq Diesel?
No!
You should.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's fun.
I know we don't do recommendations anymore, but...
I recommend it.
Oh my god. Oh, that's just bad.
It's fine.
But good.
It's, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's Shaq rapping.
So
Also, I'm pretty sure that Shaq was cast as Steel because he already had the Superman S tattoo.
That's fair.
Oh man, I read an article today about the number of times that Donald Trump has tried to compare himself to Superman,
Ugh.
including his original plan when he got let out of the hospital when he almost died from COVID was to look super frail until he got up to the camera and then rip his shirt open and have a Superman shirt on
He
underneath.
was gonna try to do like a Willy Wonka.
But have you ever watched the interview he did when he got let out of the hospital? He was hopped up on so many steroids that it would have been that guy can... We all know my opinions about that guy, but that would have been the most incredible moment of television history.
I'm good. I don't want to see that.
I don't either, but a thing that is peak 90s action movie that I kind of missed and I didn't realize was such a thing until it came here, or maybe just 90s movie, is the very pale blonde woman wearing almost nothing except for the giant white fur coats. You're a vampire. And vampires are not subtle in this one. That's...
Well, these particular vampires aren't subtle. We saw the corporate businessmen.
No, but I mean, when the vampires feed in this,
no.
other than Blade, who's too busy humping to, let the blood go everywhere, everyone else is just covered. How many fur coats does that woman go through?
Probably a lot. She doesn't care.
Hey, it's okay. It's 1998, and they've invested in Pets.com.
No, I do think it's interesting to point out that probably her next biggest movie role was as the character Una in Vampires Los Muertos, a sequel to John Carpenter's Vampires, which was released the same year as Blade. She once again plays a vampire, and the lead of that movie is John Bon Jovi.
Oh, no.
How have I not watched this?
Oh, no.
That's amazing. I'm going to go watch that at home tonight.
Oh, my God. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Oh.
God, I love John Carpenter. So fun. I think the only thing that the movie I wish would have done a little differently is they started off with his mom. Great, because I was actually surprised that they kept his origin story the same.
Other than the fact that he was born in the 1960s instead of...
Which is fine. Okay, you have to make it more modern. That's fine, whatever.
You don't want to deal with the fact that he's secretly 80 at that point. Fair enough.
Or the racial stuff for a 90s movie. But
you don't want to make him older than Whistler.
No, they would have got along
because
great.
he's like my son.
Wait a minute.
Okay, quick thing. I do want to hear what you're saying, but quick thing. When he's trying to take care of Whistler and he has the one tiny alcohol pad and he's
so stupid.
wiping off
His neck.
Negligible amounts of blood. I'm like, Blade, just call the hospital, man. I'm gonna save you. Sorry, go on with the one thing you didn't like.
So the beginning was fine with his mom. And I would have been fine if it was a doppelganger, because from the comic books, they're almost exactly the same, but they seem to have quirks.
I make vampires, and that makes doppelgangers because I want to say it was chemicals.
Yeah.
Is the most bizarre comic book choice possibly ever made.
I will say, so it's in the script, but it's never went into in the movie, even though technically it was supposed to be there. You just don't see enough time with all the characters. All the different vampire clans are supposed to have different specialties. Okay. And one of them are supposed to be pyrokinetic and all sorts of
Whoa! That would have been cool.
Sorry, we have not let you finish this thought.
No, it's not, this movie's crazy. Yeah. And it was fine that she was alive, even though she wasn't doppelganger. That's fine. I just didn't appreciate the fact that there's the scene where she hooks up her son to the blood machine and tries to make out with him for a while.
No, it's very sexual.
And then when she's getting stabbed to the heart by her son, he's like, "I must release you."
And he does like the kind of hump thing again. Like he's
I was like, I get
Wesley
it.
Snipes just can't see an attractive woman and not be like, all right. Like,
Also, what happened to the zombie? She didn't kill him.
no, he's just hanging out down there.
She just broke his
Well,
arms.
theoretically, he's just still down there.
Yeah.
Oh no. Karen!
I kind of liked him more as a zombie.
The voice was. Who was that actor? Because he was in Iron Man years later, and he was in friggin' Stargate. He was in Stargate SG-1.
SG-1?
Yeah, he was in the like final 2 seasons. He's one of those guys that's in a lot of bad sci-fi that I love.
His name is Tim Guinea. I had completely forgotten that he was an Iron Man.
I didn't know he was an Iron Man until I watched this and went, "That's the SG-1 guy."
I also have to rewatch all of that.
You don't.
Actually,
but
whoa!
what's up?
He's also in John Carpenter's Vampires. He's the priest. Why did I not notice that?
He's in a lot of stuff. He's one of those actors that doesn't usually have a major starring role, but is everywhere under the sun.
He is also both the voice of both the Hoover Dam Guide and the AFT agent in Beavis and Butthead Do America, which makes me really happy.
I don't even know what to do with that information.
I think that's it. The rest of the movie was super fun. I still want a gif of that lady on the ground squirming around. I think it's funny. Just when someone says something terrible in one of my chats, I can just post that as a response. Yeah, that's about it.
Legit, it's still maybe the best Blade story.
It was really good.
The next movie's the best movie, but maybe not the best story.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I'm really excited, mostly because Guillermo del Toro, but also...
Del Toro was amazing.
Wait, isn't Ron Perlman in that one too?
Ron Perlman, Cat.
Yeah.
And,
Danny
that
Jacob
Boondock Saint.
Jules? Is that it?
Mm-hmm. The Boondock Saint, that's also in Walking Dead. Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's Norman Reedus.
Yeah, Scud is Norman Reedus.
Wasn't he in one of the Crow movies too?
No.
No, that's the other guy that
Eddie
looks
Furlong.
Okay, who looks a lot like Norman Reedus.
I call him Kroger Brand.
I always thought it was Eddie Furlong. Okay. Huh. There's so much happening in that movie.
I feel like this era of movie making was like the start of a lot of people's like long-term careers. Like this was a funny way for them to get into the industry.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Blade 2 is where Ron Perlman and Guillermo del Toro met, which is... Oh, is it not?
No, he had worked with them before.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, those two brought us Hellboy about 5 years after
Which
this.
is fun.
And Hellboy remains a gold standard of how to do a comic book movie as far as I'm concerned. Like,
of that flavor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree.
Perlman was in Kronos, and that was 93.
Oh, yeah. So way before. That's like 10 years before.
I know this is off
Because when
topic.
did Blade 2 come out? That was 2003-ish?
2002.
Oh, okay.
I know this is off topic. We did mention Toro. Isn't he supposed to be working with Hideo Kojima on something right now? As I heard.
How many things has Guillermo del Toro signed on to over the years?
Because
I don't know, but
Hideo Kojima was like, I'm going to make my own version of Silent Hill, but now Silent Hill's coming out with a new game and a remake of 2 and a new movie, which I'm going to watch. It looks really good.
And I can't believe I forgot to mention it, but Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio on Netflix is amazing.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. I haven't watched it yet,
It's
though.
really good. That's another one of my ingested.
But, Blade.
That's the one I did not expect until someone like it came out. I'm like, oh,
Honestly,
I can see it.
Yeah, like, it...
It's really good.
Which is fun, because the original Pinocchio Disney movie is not. There's some, like, beautiful animation, but they had not figured out how to pace a full-length movie
Plus, the
cartoon yet.
The Pinocchio story is weird and funky, which is up Del Toro's alley. Like, that's his bread and butter.
Yeah, he still does a little bit different of a take on it. It's not the Disney Pinocchio story.
Which
and it's
should
also
be.
it's not quite the book. Like, there is some changes made here and there, including just, like, really, really setting it in a setting instead of just, like, vague fairy tale land. It is like, oh no, we're in 1940s Italy.
Have fun.
Oh, so
Spoiler.
fascism.
Spoiler, Mussolini's in the movie.
How are we going to make Pinocchio interesting?
Ugh.
Benito Mussolini.
Voiced by Tom Kenny.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's amazing. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I think my first time watching it, I was actually really impressed with how well it held up. I've seen other movies around this era that I've
They
watched,
don't always.
and I was like, I used to watch this as a kid, and I don't think I could watch it ever again.
Yeah, no, I'm down to watch this again.
Yeah.
Like soon. I probably will put it on in the background while I'm doing something else, like cleaning. So.
I wasn't sure. I thought that this one was going to not hold up very well and the Blade 2 would hold up decent. And who knows? We'll see how Blade 2 holds up in a week.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
4 days from now for me. Like, that'll be my day to watch it. But, Jesus Christ. All right. Oh my God, we talked about how to open this. We did not talk about how to end this episode crossover.
Well, I mean, I guess the main thing is that next week is going to be Blade 2.
Next week's Blade 2.
See you there.
This is the General Nerdery Newb Island crossover. I don't know.
Spectacular.
Yeah, all right.
Vampire killing spectacular. Oh, that's the one last thing I was going to say, I guess. I love how with how many times they cuss, this movie's rated R anyway, so I'm guessing they weren't doing this necessarily to get around standards and practices, but you can be so much more violent when you just have your enemies fading into dust afterwards.
You watch it.
Yeah, some of this stuff you're like, whoa, boy.
In the first part of the movie, you watch him pick a vampire up by the head by shoving a stake through his jaw and then stapling it to the roof, and I was like, oh boy.
That's actually the exact thing I was thinking of when I brought that up. Is like he stakes a dude under the jaw so hard that he slams his head up into the roof and just like nails him there.
I literally looked to my wife during that first scene. I was like, I just want to watch Constantine. After watching that scene. Also, those paramedics and officers could not have cared any less. They walked in on the guy who's on fire, and the cop's like, put that guy out.
Dude, this was New York in the 90s. Like, it's hard to explain how bad New York was for, like, the latter half of the 20th century.
They don't really care. They're just like, okay, we're putting him out, I guess. Let's go.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay, I guess in the meantime, we're your professors and generals of nerdery. I'm Zac.
I'm Tyler. That's Mac.
That's Mac. Dismissed. I like doing the dismissed.
I know, I was trying to think if I was going to add something on, and I was like, nope. Thank you for listening to this episode of Newb Island. If you like the show, please hit subscribe. Also, if you could rate and review us however you're listening to us right now, that would also be super helpful. As always, we are part of the Earworm Podcast Network and would greatly appreciate it if you could go check out all of our sister shows over at earworm.com. That's EARVVYRM.com. A big special thanks to Ian Ford for our theme song and music. We'll catch you next time.